Before we get started, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel with notifications. Let's start our God of War Ragnarök anticipated events journey. God of War Ragnarök is an upcoming action-adventure video game developed by Santa Monica Studio and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, and one of the most anticipated new games for 2022, and is scheduled to be released worldwide on November 9th for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. The game won awards for Most Wanted Game and Most Anticipated Game, 2020 Golden Joystick Awards and PlayStation.blog Awards. Finally, Kratos will clash against his most cunning enemy yet, the All-Father himself, Odin, King of the Aesir. The intellectual master of dark magic will prove to be a surprisingly agile fighter, with a devastating arsenal of magical threats at his disposal. Bosses are anticipated to be fierce antagonists, like Bjorn, a mighty bear that will serve as this game's introduction boss. Bjorn begins with predictable swipes for Kratos to parry, but also introduces additional cues like yellow circles, which cannot be blocked, but can be parried. If it is blocked, you don't take damage, but you are vulnerable to a follow-up attack. The Valkyries, Hrist and Mist, and the Norns, also known as the Norse Fates, will be iconic foes you'll have to go toe-to-toe with in Ragnarok. Freya will return and seek her revenge against Kratos, and also a dramatic battle with the god of thunder, Thor, which will apparently take place across a number of different icy locations, and we will even see a brute flying combat through the air against Kratos. Thor, of course, will be equipped with the mighty hammer, Mjolnir, using several deadly electricity-infused attacks. Another boss fight in the game's early section will be Kratos going up against Dreki, which is described as a crocodile-like dragon creature. Not only can it use its vicious tail and its massive fangs to deadly effect for attacks up close, but also dole out electricity-based attacks that can temporarily lock you in place if you don't avoid them, leaving you temporarily vulnerable. Another leaked boss to be anticipated is Hodr. Hodr is a son of Odin and Baldur's brother. Also bosses like Garm, a wolf giant god, Nidhogg, a giant dragon-like, a boss called Frost Phantom, and Heimdall, the god of foresight. So, here is a full plot leak about God of War Ragnarök story. The gameplay is following the previous installment God of War 2018. The father Kratos and his growing son Atreus must face the impending Ragnarök, battles against Norse mythological foes, and more enemy types than in the 2018 game. At the start of the game, it's Atreus and Kratos outside of their protective stave hunting deer for the wolves on their sled. Atreus will be fully playable in Ragnarök. Those who played through the first game will remember that Kratos' young and inexperienced son Atreus was playable, in the sense that you could control the arrows he shoots at enemies while you're fighting. But while much of God of War was about Atreus growing into his destiny via the help of his father, the God of War, you could never play as the young boy in the traditional third-person point of view. We will re-sequel the adventure with Kratos and his son Atreus to explore the 9 realms of Norse mythology, which, by the way, will include 6 realms of the previous game, and only 3 are new. Atreus has been finding some small ball-shaped things around the forest, left by Fae, where they hunt in the past 3 years, each with the name of some Norse character, which are alive and play a role in Ragnarök. The journey kicks off when Atreus finds one with Tyr. The journey is basically recruiting and assessing who will be ready for Ragnarök in their side. There will be a huge war between the Light Elves and the Dark Elves in Alfheim, and Light Elves are more on the Aesir side and try to butcher the Dark Elves. Another anticipated story is about fighting Thor 3 times. First time in Kratos' house, second time in Vanaheim alongside Freya, and third time in Asgard. Also, the Odin boss fight in the end is more psychological than physical. Also Skal and Hati, the 2 giant wolves, the sons of Fenrir, and the grandsons of Loki, appear to no longer be serving Odin, and standing at the side of Kratos and Atreus. Kratos and Atreus will go to Muspelheim to find out Surtur, who turns out to be killed by Thor, and infested it with some Odin's black magic, and that's why it's erratically attacking Kratos. Kratos will somehow meet Faye, his second wife and the mother of Atreus. Atreus is transported to the time after Faye went to consult with giants. Atreus is now playable from here on out. Atreus also meets Angrboda and she acts as the companion during Atreus gameplay. Kratos and Atreus will travel to the events of God of War 2018, using time rune taken by killing the Norse goddesses of fate, Normirs. Each Normir is a separate boss fight. Atreus, Kratos leaving Faye in an emotional moment. They will travel again to the time Atreus got sick. From here on out players can switch between playing as Atreus or Kratos. Atreus blows the horn to call the World Serpent or Jormungandr, to know about the location of Fenrir. It is said also that Kratos and Atreus will fight Fenrir. Fenrir in this fight almost kills Atreus, when Tyr arrives and saves him, but gets his hand chopped off as a result. They tame Fenrir with the magical chain created by Sindri, and brings it to present timeline as only Fenrir can kill Odin. Jumping to current timeline. Full battle with Asgard already started after the Thor breaking time incident. Kratos and Atreus returns to the timeline and Surtur's daughter brings down major Asgarian forces. Kratos and Atreus will fight a very powerful Valkyrie wing that infused Freya. Freya also brings back Baldur as some form of reanimated corpse, and Atreus kills them both. Also Kratos will defeat Odin's mind games, and acquires Gungnir, the main weapon of Odin that also known as the Spear of Heaven. The final battle will be Odin riding Nidhogg versus Kratos and Atreus riding Fenrir. Fenrir will be able to deliver the fatal blow to Odin at the end of the battle, and Kratos will kill Nidhogg over the seas by combining Odin's spear and the Blades of Chaos together. Game ends with all realms merging in one big world, and Jotunheim becoming the top mountain. Also, the calm giants making Atreus their new king, but Atreus makes everyone free and preaches harmony instead of any king or god-ruled systems, which makes Kratos proud. Later, Tyr asks Kratos a favor in return for saving Loki from Fenrir hunting at the next game in Egypt, and also reveals about Angrboda's mother identity. Tyr basically shows Kratos an unknown mural, and Kratos agrees to go, but only after spending proper time with his son. This was some anticipated details about God of War Ragnarök. What's your thoughts? Is it gonna be the game of the year? Let us know in the comment below, and please don't forget to like the video, and subscribe to the channel with notifications. Have a nice day.